Afternoon. Good seeing everyone
Good
here
evening.
at our Black Chat.
Afternoon.
Forgive us for the late start. Had a little technical difficulties, but it's just good seeing everyone on a Friday. Again, thank you for joining our Block Chat. My name is Oswaldo Mestri. I'm the Director of Citizen Services for the City of Buffalo. Many of you know we've done our Block Chat in partnership and coordination with the best partner that you can possibly have. That's an organization, which is the Board of Block Clubs of Buffalo and Erie County. Again, we thank them for the work that they do. They're on the front line. If you have not understand or know what a block club is about, they will share with you a little later on, even during the meeting, what it is to be a part of not only a block club, but the Board of Block Clubs. They play a very strong role in terms of advocacy and also programming. Our office works very closely with them. They're having upcoming meeting, and they'll share a little more about what they do and how they do it. Our office, we've been working very diligently, is not only working with them, but all organizations as we gear up, for the upcoming months. A few months are going to be much more busy than not. Um, the snow will recede and not be with us, and we'll go on into our next journey in terms of our months and our years of programming with the city. One of the things that I can appreciate about Buffalo, and I often say this, we are a four-season city. And what do I mean by that? We enjoy all four seasons, and there's something to love and to know about each one of the seasons in terms of how we deal with each other, what we do in terms of neighbors, and how we are respectful to each other. And again, I just can't say enough about the work that we're doing. Let me also say, and I talked about this at a last block chat. Buffalo is made up of this mosaic of this good people and neighborhoods and cultures and all of that, and we celebrate each and every one of them. I think it's what binds us together because we know a little more about each other and allows us to kind of communicate and help with each other. And so let me say, Happy Black History Month. This is a month, and not that there needs to be a month, but history, within the African American diaspora or within the African diaspora are celebrated in terms of occasions, individuals, and all sorts in upcoming months. And there's a whole host of different things that we celebrate. But I just wanted to, shout out and to stop there and pause there and say welcome and congratulations. A lot of things are going on within the city. We have been commissioners and directors, and my staff alike have been working behind the scenes, and you're gonna be seeing a series of proposals. The American Rescue dollars that the city have received from the federal government, most like other cities, have are to directly help cities and those who live in those cities regarding particular programming. And we went through a strategic plan, and you're going to be seeing something called a consolidated plan of dollars that will be focusing going into the community in a myriad of different aspects, whether it be food insecurity, frontline arts, workforce development, infrastructure development regarding our community centers, and a whole host of different things. One of the things that I've been directly charged with is creating a neighborhood corps team, a neighborhood improvement teams, where we will seek to look to hire individuals in the community to work with block clubs and community-based organizations on cleanup type of activities, neighborhood restoration activities, ways to help build capacity, kind of like a civilian conservation corps. We are putting the programs and the key performance goals in it right now. This group we're going to have some community meetings and get some feedback. I'm excited about the particular project that we're going to do. We hope to hire about 50 individuals, hope to have about 5 supervisors, and we'll make a commitment that the individuals that we hire will be reflective of the community that they will be working in. Did you hear that? The individuals that we hope to be bringing on will be reflective of the communities that we'll be working in. And that's a very, very important thing. Oswaldo can't do that by ourselves. My staff can't. We're going to be working with each and every one of you, more specifically with block clubs and those organizations to help build capacity. We know that there are projects that are out there because we get called, right? But we also know there's opportunities for those individuals to give back to a community or to help. And so we have a certain amount of dollars that we're going to be working with, working very closely with the Wilson Foundation, as well as with the Civilian Conservation Corps out of DC that's helping us with some technical assistance. And so just excited about that too. So those are some of the things that, and a couple of other different things earlier in the week. Um, there was a forum regarding um, the Neil Dobbins restoration. I'm sorry, not crime prevention. My staff helped me out. It was the Neil Dobbins. This is what happens when you put your staff on a slot. It it was a fund that dealt with crime prevention and community crime prevention, not crime prevention, but
Restorative Justice Fund.
all right. Thank you. Restorative Justice Fund. My had a senior moment there. And so we worked, and there were about 50 community-based frontline organizations that are dealing with that. And it was a great meeting. We talked about program design, evaluation, and a whole host of different things. We're going to be having a series of those types of meetings, and you'll see that very shortly in terms of how we introduce programming to the community. What we've talked with the mayor is that many times we get monies and we just put those monies out in the community, but there's no plan, or there's no way in terms of that. And so what we want to do is introduce this and talk and build capacity and talk about creating this ecosystem of organizations that, so not only are they working with the funding, but they're working with each other. And it's very, very important. And so I've been really spearheading and sharing that, that it's not enough just to put funds, but also it's enough to coordinate with that too. You're going to hear about that with our speaker today and the organization that have been doing a lot of work within this community. They have spoken once before at our block chat. They have revealed a strategic plan. It is a great thing that is happening here that speaks about the history of Buffalo, honestly, but also speaks about a time and place, about not what happened yesterday, but to take what happened yesterday to move forward with it and to talk about how can we design about that and how can we create place. And you're seeing that happen all throughout Buffalo, but this one specific area, some very special things are happening. I don't want to steal his thunder, and so we're going to allow him to speak a little later on. I'm excited to hear from Terry Alford, who's the executive director of the Michigan Street corridor, and then he'll speak a little later on. Nicole, I know you have a couple of announcements, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to introduce somebody who is a new addition to the Division of Citizen Services. Nicole?
Hi, everybody, and welcome. We are happy to have you. So I'm just going to share a couple announcements. I'll try to move pretty quickly. We have a lot to get to today. So let me know when you can see my screen.
You're good. It's up.
Okay. So as always, just a reminder, still, if anybody's facing eviction prevention, there's Stand Up Buffalo. So we can offer financial assistance to those who meet the eligibility requirements. So you can call 211 to learn more and apply, or you can go to standupbuffalo.com. The tenants and landlords, you can sign up today for the City of Buffalo's free apartment building recycling program. You can do this simply by just visiting buffalorecycles.gov /apartments, or you can call the number for recycling 716-851-5014 and find out more about the initiative. Dogs to the Rescue fundraiser is tomorrow, Saturday, February 19th. It starts at 5:30 p.m. at Buffalo Ironworks. There is a small fee that goes to the donations as well. So really exciting fundraiser. If you need a child with autism sign, this has now been added to the list of roadway caution signs. If you are a parent or guardian or have somebody in your neighborhood that needs a sign, you can call 311 or go to our city website, buffalony.gov, for more, provided that all the eligibility requirements are met. Via City of Buffalo Lifeguards. So this is the lifeguard certification and training program, Monday, February 21st through Friday, February 25th. So this is next week. You can register still at buffalopayl.com, provided there is space, you will still be accepted. There are a few eligibility requirements to meet for this as well. And if you are an American Red Cross certified instructor and you can train lifeguards, you can complete an application at Buffalo PAL as well. The Summer Youth Internship and Employment Program is now open. So if you're between 14 and 21, you can sign up on our city website, buffalony.gov/MYS app. Completed applications are due by Friday, April 15th. And you can obviously earn money, gain meaningful work experience, have dynamic interactions, and learn skills necessary to succeed in the workforce. So if you just want more information, visit the city website for this as well. Of course, as always, the mayor has his radio show on Sundays, Talk of the Town with Mayor Brown. One coming up is on February 20th at 1 p.m. You can watch it live on his Facebook or visit WUFO to hear it as well. So there is the Crime Prevention Tree Planting Initiative. This will be hosted both in the spring and in the fall on the east and west side of Buffalo. There are more details to come about this initiative itself. And if you want more information or to find out how you can participate, you can contact the Special Project Manager for Crime Prevention for the City of Buffalo, Mr. Ron Dixon. And his email is listed on the screen, rdixon@buffalony.gov. If you're having trouble coping or know somebody that is in crisis, you can contact the Buffalo Police Department Behavioral Health Team. They are in collaboration with Endeavor Health Services to provide on-site screening, assessment, de-escalation, and diversion for people in need of mental health or substance use treatment services. If you want to just find out more about this and how it would work, you can call the number listed on screen, 851-9604, and inquire about this initiative as well. As always, we have the Buffalo announcements. You can sign up for the public service announcement alerts by texting Join Buff Alert to 38276. And if you're just interested in the parking updates, just text Join Parking Updates to 38276. And this is especially handy, of course, when it's snowing or there's some restrictions that are going on that you need to know about. As always, Mayor Brown still is urging residents to dress properly for the cold temperatures and the wind chills, as well as to practice heating safety during the cold winter temperatures when using a space heater or fireplaces in order to stay safe. As always, we wrapped up our MLK Junior Day of Service winter clothing drive very recently. So the mayor would like to thank everybody who participated and was involved in this. We've got a lot of donations donated to us as well. And many people were excited to participate. We had over 3,500 pieces collected. And we just want to say a special thanks to our Vista, Ellen Harris Harvey, who really put this together and helped it to succeed. For the Board of Block Clubs, if you're looking to start a block club, reach out to the City of Buffalo and Erie County Board of Block Clubs. They do have an email, phone number, Facebook, and Instagram. They are very active on all platforms and will respond promptly to help you find out the necessary steps to get your block club started. They're also hosting an in-person community meeting February 24th at Seneca Babcock Community Center with a speaker as well, and there will be updates from the Block Club leaders. And you can find this flyer and more information on their Facebook at Facebook BOBC Buffalo. For more information, there's also community events coming up. So this is Restorative Practices and Restorative Justice, The Power of Healing, a conversation for families affected by parental arrest, sponsored by Voice Buffalo and Family Works Buffalo, for Restorative Solution Focus, a virtual conversation. This is February 17th. You can register by using the QR code. Or if you want to learn more or register online, you can call the Family Works Buffalo office at the number provided. Power of Our Voices, Bridging the Gap Between Courts and Community, is an informational conversation with members of the judiciary, attorneys, and court personnel. And it's just to better help families and colleagues understand the court system. So there's various topics, of course, some wonderful speakers. It is a free program. You can scan the QR code to register, or you can visit eriebar.org and go to their events. And the event is called Power of Our Voices. For those who are expecting parents and they have various questions about parenting and new parenthood, there is a free Zoom sponsored by Every Person Influences Children. You can scan to learn more, or you can call or text the number on screen, or email derwina@epicforchildren.org. There is a Black History Month free online webinars talking about mental health in the Black community, breaking stigma and silence. So each Saturday there are new topics. The one coming up obviously is February 19th. And if you want more information on the various topics, you can visit BIPOCparentvoice.org, or you can scan the QR code on screen to register yourself and attend each event. There is the Nurturing Fathers program Mondays and Wednesdays. This runs February 7th through March 21st. You can still attend from 5 to 7 p.m. It is free and offered virtually and helps with parenting skills, healthy family relationships, and child development. So they are in-person sessions that meet at Bennett High School Parent Center, or you can join virtually. You can register at the QR code below, or contact Terry CA at the number provided on screen, or email him at ts@BPN, which is Buffalo Prenatal and Perinatal Network. The Erie County Restorative Justice Coalition is hosting a youth health and wellness staycation for ages 14 through 19. So they're hosting various activities for the week from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. At Reno City on Hurdle. So you can scan the QR code to register. It is $10. Or you can go online to their website at ecrjc.org. The Community Music School is hosting a number of summer camps for various weeks during the summer. It is for different camps are for kids of different ages, and you can call for information or pricing, or email Community Music School for more information as well. Northland Workforce Training Center is having a community breakfast at Wednesday, March 9th from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. At Northland. You can learn how you can educate, enlighten, and empower our community through the center. And then you can ensure how community members have access and benefit from the revitalization happening. You can RSVP online by emailing dpruitt@northlandwtc.org, or calling the number and the extension on screen. And as always, Northland Workforce Training Center is offering different hands-on training opportunities and services provided, which you can also visit their website to find out more about the different opportunities. As always, there is COVID testing and vaccination information available on our website, covid19.buffalony.gov, and it contains a list of all testing sites, etc., throughout the city. And if you are still dealing with emotional stress from COVID, there is the Buffalo Urban League's New York Project Hope Coping with COVID support line. So this is open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And if you would like to email, you can email Project Hope at buffalourbanleague.org as well. And it is free, anonymous, and confidential. So we also would like to remind you to please follow us on social media at the Division of Citizen Services at Buffalo Citizen Services, on our Instagram at Buffalo 311. And we also have a secondary 311 call and response center page, and that is at Buffalo 311. And if you do not follow the mayor, please follow him at Mayor Byron Brown on Facebook and Mayor Byron Brown 716 on Instagram. And I'm going to turn it over to the director for just a minute to do his welcome.
So let me take this opportunity to welcome our newest staff members. She is 5 days old, so actually 4 days old. And so Malika Lee is going to be doing our external affairs manager. Primarily, she's going to be working with our AmeriCorps program, but she's also going to be assigned and working with the Board of Block Clubs and doing block clubs. And so let me just take this opportunity to say congratulations to Malika. She comes to us having a wealth of experience in terms of engagement in the community. She worked with the Buffalo Urban Renewal Agency on a myriad of different housing initiatives, but also engagement type of initiatives. She's very familiar with block clubs. She has a great lineage in terms of that. I just want to say welcome to Malika. Malika, if you wanted to say a few words.
I would like to say that I am excited to be joining you all, and thank you all for your warm welcomes throughout this week. And as they continue to come, I'm really excited to get to work and start to make my own impact with you all. And joining on this team. It's a great team. I've been with you all and seen many of your faces throughout the clean sweeps throughout these last few years. So I'm excited to be working with you all hand in hand. So looking forward to this.
Good. Well, thank you, Malika. As I bring on this speaker, I wanted to do this. I should have done this earlier, and I know that Debbie will speak to this a little later on. Earlier in the week, we received some news regarding a giant in this community. Her name was Linda Friedenberg. She was the former president of the Board of Block Clubs of Buffalo and Erie County, and she played a tremendous role. The reason why I'm just speaking to this, and I know that Debbie's going to speak about this later, is that I knew her personally, and she had a lot to do with the work and my focus on community and communities and neighborhoods. And so I just wanted to, you know, mention her, as well as Rich Lee, who was a part of the Board of Block Clubs, and did a lot of work here. The things that we do are paved not because of the work that we do, but the things that we do are paved many times because of the things that have been laid out for us in the past. And so sometimes we're just living, some of our young folks, we're living the dream of other folks and visions that were there. And so just wanted to take a moment of reflection and say thank you, Linda, and say thank you to Rich Lee. All right, well, thank you. Listen, if you know anything about them two people, they would want you to be celebratory of the work and the thing that we do, and they would just say, let's keep it moving, and so that's why the Board of Block Clubs are making things happen in a way we do. Our next speaker that we have here is Terry Alford, who's the Executive Director of the Michigan Street African American Heritage Corridor. A few weeks ago, they revealed a new strategic plan for that area, but also for the city of Buffalo. And I talked about history and how it is repeats itself, but is reflective of the roles on where we are moving. And so Terry's going to speak about that and all things related to the Michigan Street African American Heritage Corridor. Let me say to Terry, thank you. He's a bit under the weather, and courageous people do courageous things. I'm just going to say thank you for being courageous today, Terry, and thank you for just sharing the strategic vision of the African American Corridor. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Oswaldo, and thank you to Citizen Services for inviting myself and the Heritage Corridor to this afternoon to provide some updated information about a corridor, as well as some history updates that you may have known or not known, but you'd be surprised to hear anyway. As Brother Oswaldo's mentioned, I am feeling a bit under the weather, so excuse me if I am not my most vivacious self, if you will, and that's the reason why I'm not showing my beautiful face. We don't want to scare anybody off this web X, if you will. I don't know about Curry's, Brother Oswaldo. It's a little chicken noodle soup that's actually helped me get through this a bit. So
we got that for you too.
Thank you. So I'm happy to be here. I'm going to see if I can share this with you. Let's see here. And we're going to, hopefully you can all see this.
We can.
Good. So really quick, just quick about me. If you don't know me, I'm a native of Buffalo, New York, born and raised in the city that I love. But more importantly, I'm native son of those communities, those historic neighborhoods that are connected to our heritage corridor that we know as Michigan Avenue and Michigan Street, whatever you like. I am very much proud and emblematic of those historic neighborhoods that I grew up in, and I'm very happy to be make a small part in being part of the transformational change that we're looking to try to achieve in this corridor. Um, I'm all of 61 years old, so it's way long overdue. At least for me, it's 6 decades of really seeing this corridor sort of be ignored or marginalized for a variety of different reasons, both historical and economically and otherwise. So I'm happy to be a part of the corridor and serving in the capacity of executive director. I've started in this capacity about 2 years ago, February of 2020, and it's been nothing more than a great ride thus far. I'll tell anybody that I consider this my dream job just because of the very reasons that I've already mentioned. Briefly about the corridor, and I'm sure many of you already know this that I've seen here on this during this presentation. The location of the Heritage Corridor is between Broadway, Eagle, Elm, and Nash to William Street east to Pine Street, and Pine Street south to Eagle. This area directly corresponds with the Commission's 4 core cultural anchors, which I'll talk about momentarily. I'm sure many of you know the anchors already. The cultural anchors are key to the Commission's success and mission. Each of the anchors maintain their own 501c3 with their own unique board of directors. The corridor's festivals, cultural events, and artistic programming draw residents, national and international tourists, scholars, artists, writers, storytellers, poets, dancers, and actors to this thriving community, and that has served that purpose over the past 185 years or so. One already know, if you didn't already know, we could tell you that many different movements started in this particular district or historic district, which includes the abolitionist movement, obviously, civil rights movements, women rights, the jazz movement played a big part in this corridor as well. The Michigan Street Avenue corridor is considered the heart of the African American community. Some people call it the spine of the community. And this is a couple quick facts, bulleted facts about the history of the corridor itself. A mission that the cultural significance and impact made by African Americans in this city, and all those historic folks whose shoulders we stand on, played a big part in transforming not just this corridor, but the city. I would dare say the entire region, the entire Buffalo Niagara region as well. And as such, it still carries a significant role in the continued transformation, positive transformation for the East Side development. And I'll talk more about that momentarily as well. Our 4 founding anchors, you already know, I'm sure, includes the Michigan Street Baptist Church, the Nash House, the Colored Musicians Club and Museum, and the new kid on the block, if you will, is the Waffle Radio, which includes the Black Radio History Collective. I'll provide a brief history for each. The Michigan Street Baptist Church is owned by a not-for-profit organization, the Buffalo Niagara Freedom Coalition. Now, this church has been a central part of the history and culture of Buffalo for more than 150 years. The building was really built in 1845, and it's become legendary as one of the last stations of the Underground Railroad, which provided freedom seekers sanctuary before crossing to freedom in Canada, namely at the site of our brothers and sisters at Broderick Park, if you will. The Nash House once served as the home of Reverend Edward Nash, as well as his wife Frances and their son Jesse. Their son Jesse actually grew up and became a professor at Canisius College. Reverend Nash is the longest serving pastor for the church. The Nash House is currently owned by the not-for-profit organization, the Michigan Street Preservation Corporation. The historic house has been operating as a museum since 2007. Many of the good Reverend's sermons and letters that are crucial parts of Buffalo's African American community's history were written here and are on display for viewing. The Colored Musicians Club, Local 533, was formed in 1917. It was formed because African American musicians at the time in the city were not allowed to become members of the mostly white musicians unit at the time, so they started their own union. A year after its founding, upstairs from its primary office, the Colored Musicians Club became an after-hours gathering space for local touring musicians such as Dizzy Gillespie, Duke Ellington, Billie Holiday, Count Basie, Ella Fitzgerald, Lena Horne, Art Blakely, and so many, many more. I think many of you already know this. The club received designation as a historical landmark in 1979. And lastly, but certainly not least, the Waffle Radio was established in 1961. It wasn't native to the corridor at the time. It was actually established in another part of our city. Waffle is the only African-American owned radio station in Western New York. It's one of the few African-American owned radio stations that's actually owned by a woman as well, that we are quite proud of. And that's our sister Sheila L. Brown, CEO, president of Vision Multimedia Group. Ms. Brown is a well-respected icon in the community and hopes to expand upon her not-for-profit Black History Collective, which she started collecting a couple of years ago. We believe it's the first of its kind in the country, and it's dedicated to stories of our community and urban radio, which includes the sound of R&B, blues and soul, gospel music, all of which emerged as a connection to the Black community during the 1950s, 60s, and the 70s. A bit about our history. The commission, the commission acts as an administrative support system for the cultural anchors. We advocate for the community primarily, and we always endeavor to integrate the significance, the cultural significance and impact made by African Americans on this city. But as I said before, I consider that importance, really primarily important for the entire region, and dare I say the entire country as well. The mission basically encapsulates what we are looking to try to do with our, as you see, in our core values. I've highlighted some of the ones that I primarily focus on, but all 6 of these are very important as advocates for our community. I would always mention that as a commission, we have an obligation of becoming a sustainable organization that is broad-reaching, inclusive, and diverse, while operating and continuing to operate as an advocate for the interests of the 4 anchors that I've already mentioned, as well as trying to create and expand upon other cultural assets beyond the corridor. A bit about our corridor. We're part of Eastside's Avenue. Eastside's Avenue was part of the Empire State's Development Buffalo $1 billion project. We also garner the support of many other community founders and foundations, many of which you already know. As part of the governor's Buffalo $1 billion investment plan and Empire State Development, $65 million is directly dedicated to the revitalization of Buffalo's East Side through capital investments. East Side Avenues is a unique public-private partnership that provides capacity building, funding, and organizational support to complement 5 specific initiatives along Bailey, Fillmore Avenue, Jefferson, and of course, Michigan. The East Side Avenue project implementation team, led by the University at Buffalo's Region Institute, works to build organizational capacity by ensuring that appropriate projects are focused upon. And so those focus points includes 9 target areas that are presently receiving investments in all of these corridors. That includes Martin Luther King Park, the Northland Workforce Training Center, Broadway, the Broadway Market, Central Terminal, and of course the 4 anchors in the Heritage Corridor itself. A bit about our programming, which we're quite proud of. Our program is primarily led and maintained and managed by our project manager, Audrey Clark. She came on board as the second staff that the commission actually ever hired, which I was the first. And under her leadership and her passion for museums and historical spaces and preservation, she has been very successful in assisting the 4 anchors in realizing real success, not just in terms of revenue stream, which is very important, and the sustainability of all of them, but in terms of relevancy for the entire corridor itself. Some of these activities include our in-person and virtual tours. It has included community cleanup days. Actually, I definitely want to mention, because I saw her name on here, Faustino Murrell. We partnered with her and her organization last month to host volunteers in the corridor for a good portion of Saturday morning in the cold, very cold, to really celebrate and at least recognize Martin Luther King, with a special Martin Luther King Day of Service and cleaning up around the anchors and other parts of the corridor. So again, thank you, Faustinia, if you're still on. We appreciate the partnership. We've actually hosted as well this past December soulful Christmas activities. We've done gardening and beautification projects in and around the corridor. We'll continue to do so. Something quite new this past September, the University of Buffalo and the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation partnered with the Buffalo Niagara Freedom Station Coalition to host community archaeology days at the Michigan Street Baptist Church, with the focusing archaeological digs at the site of what we know as the site of the home of Peyton Harris. Peyton Harris is the grandfather-in-law to Mary Talbert, who resided there, which was right next to the church. Talbot, as you know, was an American orator, activist, suffragist, and reformer. Talbot was among the most prominent African Americans of her time. It was at this home where W.E.B. Du Bois and other prominent civil rights activists, which included Reverend Nash, founded the Niagara Movement, the precursor to today's NAACP. What was exciting this past November, like a full circle moment, if you will, was our local NAACP chapter moved into new office space to be used as its headquarters, which is basically steps away from that location now. They'll be located in what's called the Nash Loft, which you can find on the corner of Michigan and Sycamore. So we're quite happy with that. Vision for the future. Whenever I speak to groups like this, I always try to preface what I say by exclaiming that great things are happening on Michigan. Now, this really resonates when we share all that the commission and the anchors are presently doing now to solidify all of our sustainability for future generations to enjoy and appreciate. 3 of our more historic anchors will soon be announcing the start of major capital projects that will stabilize, renovate, or expand their spaces, all designed to not just preserve history, but to enhance the visitor experience looking to our corridor as a unique heritage destination. These capital projects are all supported with funding from the New York State Empire State Development $1 billion project again. And if I may, I will briefly just sort of update you where everyone is with their projects, and I think you would, find this interesting. First, the Michigan Street Baptist Church. Structural repairs to the roof and walls, plus an addition on the north side of the building are planned. In fact, they've actually already started working on the interior of the church itself to stabilize the ceiling and the walls. In addition, on the north side of the building will provide better access to the upper and lower levels of the church and will include accessible restrooms. Gardens and art installations, including a mural of Mary Calvert on the outside wall of what's now known as the Nash Lofts, and a newly renovated building that faces the north side of the church is also planned. Beginning last year, the Nash House has benefited from a major renovation makeover, repairing and stabilizing woodworking, painting, roofing, and the installation of soon-to-be new energy-saving doors and windows are planned for this year. Rooms featuring many exhibits inside the church to allow for the installation of interactive touchscreens that will allow for more stories about the Nash family and the community around them to be shared to enhance the visitor experience is also planned. Plans to expand and renovate the Colored Musicians Club and Museum are actually moving forward. A redesigned stage, professional grade lighting system, and a sophisticated sound and acoustic arrangement are part of their new plans. A second structure with a contrasting design is also in the plans. It will include an elevator. It would also include what the club calls much needed accessibility features. Enhanced restrooms with a new atrium is also planned. There'll be a large glass atrium, as you can see depicted in the rendering here, that will face towards the church and the greenery that is between the church and the Nash House. And it will also face towards the new Wuffle Radio operations that is planned there in a moment. I'll be talking about that in a minute. This building, in fact, the glass enclosed atrium will also include a connecting bridge on the second floor, a new green room, conference area, and educational spaces, especially which will be used for young people who are interested in learning an instrument. And finally, Wuffle Radio. Now, they have not received any funding from the Buffalo Billion Fund. However, the city of Buffalo recently awarded the organization perpetual lease rights to 2 sister structures it is planned to build to accommodate the radio station's operations. These spaces are going to be located right next to the Michigan Street Baptist Church. The project will redevelop a pre-existing building that's been sitting there almost 100 years. That space constitutes about 1,500 square foot. It has had numerous modifications over the years. In fact, it does also hold some historic significance. It served at one time as the headquarters for the Chinese Business Association. In the early years of the 20th century, there was quite a significant Chinese population in this part of the corridor that commerced, lived, resided, played right near the African American burgeoning population. So that's just something for you to know if you didn't already know. In addition, south of the building will be constructed, replicating the historic streetscape of this heritage block. Recreation of the storefronts will be based on photographic and other historic documentation, which is very important whenever we talk about bringing in new buildings or renovating existing buildings or introducing the construction of more buildings. We always want to be mindful of the integrity of the heritage what was there at one time. And we tried to work with the city and others to try to ensure that we get as close as possible to honoring that integrity and that history. Now, Brother Oswaldo mentioned at the beginning, when he was presenting me here, was that just this past or last Thursday, we rolled out the final elements of our strategic action plan and economic development strategy. Now, this plan is also in partnership with Empire State Development. I'm proud to say that it was strictly a community-driven planning process, which will serve as the roadmap for the redevelopment and the future of the corridor. We worked with a consultant that we went to great lengths in identifying through an exhaustive bidding process. Moody Nolan, which is primarily based out of Columbus, Ohio. In fact, that's where they were founded. But they have offices in New York City. Is an African-American owned agency, which has vast experience and success in transforming long ignored commercial corridors in primarily African-American urban centers around the country, transforming them into economic powerhouses. Now, the goals of our plan is to continue to develop a more compelling vision for telling the important stories of the corridor, achieve sustainable operations for the commission, and further develop cultural assets to facilitate increased visitorship and additional private investment. Our plan, which remains true now, has always been that the plan and those activities and strategies moving forward would be all community driven and be very inclusive of all stakeholders looking to transform this corridor into something special. In my concluding remarks, when we presented the plan, I mentioned that it's going to take all of us to sort of lift this boat, if you will, to see some real change on either short, mid, or long term. And we're looking to many of you to be part of that effort moving forward. If you want to see the recording from the presentation that we conducted last Thursday when we officially introduced the plan and economic strategy, I would encourage you to go to our website, the MichiganStreetBuffalo.org, and look under strategic plan. It's rather prominent there on the front page, on the face page anyway. Along with what you could find there, besides the strategic plan, are opportunities for you to learn more, obviously, about the commission, our anchors, and how you can be more involved either with our steering committees, our standing committees, or any number of our activities. We strongly encourage you to do so. We also invite you to participate in activities that will involve and enthrall your family and make for really memorable family experiences. If you're looking to contact us directly, you can do so with the email that's presented here, info@MichiganStreetBuffalo.org, and or you can call us directly at our office number, 716-322-1002. So that concludes my brief presentation. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to entertain them.
Okay, I want to say I was muted. I'm talking. I want to say thank you to Terry. Great job for your presentation. A lot of great information. I want to say also personally thank you. I know you were under the weather. I use the word courageous, and it is a courageous thing. Sometimes we measure those in different ways. You came out and you spoke and you gave information. So thank you very, very much for your presentation. I know folks here will get very involved in the things that we're doing is important. I want to pass this off to my good friend and colleague that will talk about all things block clubs, but that will also mention the work, that has been shared. So my good friend Debbie, where you at?
I'm here. Hi. Sorry. I had to go off and on. People were coming in and out of the door. Good afternoon, everybody. What a great presentation. Oh my goodness. I took some notes and we'll definitely be reaching out. First and foremost, thank you for mentioning about Linda Friedenberg and Rich Lee, both stellar people who did a lot for block clubs. And thank you for putting that up. Especially Linda. Everybody knows she was a good friend to everybody, including Miss Ada. And she, I think, lived and breathed block clubs. So our hearts go out to her and her family. It is tonight from 3 to 7. And, if those who knew her can stop out and, see her family, that would be great. We, as the Board of Block Clubs, will work on a couple of things to, remember Linda by and Rich Lee. And Rich Lee's was last night and Linda's is tonight. So they both died on last Saturday, which is crazy to think that two powerhouse people that have been in this community for years and years and years both left us on the same day. So with that being said, the Board of Block Clubs is definitely going to be doing something in memory of both these wonderful people. It's been a long haul for a lot of us. It's just been a crazy year. So many different things have been happening. Board of Block Clubs has been doing really good things. We're traveling with our meetings this month. We're at Seneca Babcock Community Center. Next month in March, we'll be at the Old First Ward. April will be at Gloria J. Parks. We are working on May and June as we speak. So we will have all of our meetings and flyers ready and rip-raring to go ahead of time, which is really great. So we're working with many people in the community to travel. The Board of Block Clubs is also going to be doing a community day event sponsored by us with other people, which will be great. There'll be more information on that. We do have speakers every month. We have our speakers lined up already for March and April. We're so ahead. It's great, our team, our board is wonderful. They're really on par with everything and getting us all these wonderful places to meet at. And what's great is we're going to be in everybody's district, so the councilman can come out. We're going to meet new people. We're going to talk about different things. We're going to come up with some wonderful initiatives. April, we have a speaker. It'll be just one speaker in April, but we're really moving forward and bringing as much wonderful information to everybody as we possibly can. Our motto is we want to build a block club in every space and every inch of the city of Buffalo and surrounding area. We just don't want, we want to show Cheektowaga, Amherst, Tonawanda what we're made of here in the city of Buffalo with our block clubs. And we have some phenomenal block clubs, it, right? So I'm blessed in many ways. With my team that's on here today, you all know who you are, Art, Ellen, Cortasia, Linda, I hope I didn't miss anybody, and Citizen Services as well, though. Thank you for all that you do for us and your team. It's always great when you can work with people who understand what your mission and vision is and are always there for you. And Division of Citizen Services has always been there since this whole new board became new, and we are all new, most of us. So we're learning, we're growing. And if you have any suggestions or ideas, please, our information is in the chat. Thank you, Cortasia and Ellen. They put everything in there because sometimes I forget. And send us your suggestions. We're always open to new speakers. This month, we have Greenlight Networks coming, and I think we have a couple of surprise speakers. And next month, we have Mickey Kern's team coming because a lot of people asked to have them back, so they're coming back. We also have Carol from the city of Buffalo, the comptroller's office is going to be bringing information to us in March, so that's really good. And once we confirm for April, then I can, let everybody know who the speaker will be in April. But other than that, that's it for us. I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful, safe weekend. Stay warm. And if there's anything that we can do for you, please just let us know. And Oz, thank you for always giving the Board of Block Clubs this time to
Anytime, Debbie. Listen,
speak.
we talked about Linda, but let me keep it real. Linda was not only a beautiful person, she was a taskmaster. She's like, listen, what are we doing next? Where are we going? I'm looking at her right there. Let's keep it moving. Whatever we're doing. So you know what? You guys are keeping that legacy. I want to say thank you. If you know anything about Linda,
Thank you.
she kept the wheels running.
Yep, she did.
And that's what we're doing. And so I'm glad that we're able to celebrate her. I'm going to try to get out to the few today over there just to pay my respects. But let's keep it moving, as Linda would say. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, keep it moving, keep it real, and let's not stop doing what we're meant to do, and that's to work in the community and do whatever we can. Great presentation today as well. A lot of information. So wow, let's just keep these informational meetings upbeat and bringing new life into so many things here in the city of Buffalo. That's what it's all about. So that's it.
Listen, be safe and be careful out there. Let's have a great week. Enjoy your weekend. Let Buffalo be Buffalo and just enjoy it. Right. All right. Take care, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Have a blessed weekend. Stay safe. Happy President's Day.
Yeah.
Happy President's Day.
Oh,
Thanks
that's
for all
right.
your service,
Oh,
Deb.
we
You're
do have a
amazing.
holiday.
Thank you, Debbie.
Yeah.
Nah, thank you all. See you later.
Bye,
All
Oswaldo.
right. Take care. God bless you.
Hey, how are you,
Bye-bye.
Linda?